Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today it's going to be a little bit different, so we're going to be discussing 8 tips for beginners in Warfinder. So if you're new to the game, I'm hoping that these 8 tips that I'm going to give you will help with your grind. This game is a very grindy game, so this is obviously focused for beginners. If you're not a beginner, some of these tips still might help you if you're struggling to progress through the game. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. Please like and subscribe if you find this helpful. So first thing we're going to discuss is, where do I shoot? So for aviation, it can be quite tricky to work out where you do shoot to so your bullets collide with the enemy. The good thing about this is, in arcade mode they have a small circle in front which you can use to track your target and work out where to shoot so your bullets hit them. I would recommend, if you're new to a specific plane and you want to try out realistic battles due to the reward increases you get from it, I would say go into the test drive with the vehicles you want to take to realistic, so you can work out the trajectory of the specific guns you're using, as all guns have a different velocity and calibers have different, they can be heavier, so you might have to aim more ahead. So I'd recommend diving into a test battle, test flight, working that out, and then go into a couple of arcade battles so you can test it out in real life against real opponents, and it will really help you for when you go into realistic battles, so you can work out different speeds, how far ahead you need to aim in front of these enemies. Ground battles, again, I would recommend going into the test drive, working out different places which your shells can penetrate. Again, go into some arcade battles, work out the dip of your shells and where to aim at specific enemies. Warfinder has a good feature of protection analysis. You can go in the hangar, select a vehicle and decide which shell you want to use and against which tanks, and then you can work out weak spots on the tank, such as the jumbo, which at 5-3 you're going to struggle against to find the area where you can penetrate. So if you go in there with the tank you're using, you can kind of work out where you need to aim, allowing you to penetrate the tank and eventually kill it. So definitely worth doing, and it will definitely help you out in the real battles. Next up, we're going to discuss modification rewards. So when you complete a full tier of modifications, you receive that much RP back for the vehicle you're researching. The amount you get is the amount of RP it took to get that single modification. So you can see here I got bonus RP because I completed and spaded my vehicle. So it really helps. It really helps with the progress, and it's definitely a good way of doing this. So make sure that you spade your vehicles, and it will give you this bonus RP, which is incredibly useful, especially with a higher tier vehicle. It may take about 12,000 for one modification, and once you've completed that and played them games, that 12,000 is really useful. That's possibly 1 or 2 games of research, maybe even 3 if you have a poor game. I don't know. It's incredibly good. So make sure you spade these vehicles, get them the best you can, and it will really help accelerate your research speed. So binoculars. It's originally set at keybind V. Incredibly important. You can use these when you're behind cover to look above, as the binoculars come from slightly above your vehicle. You can be behind cover, like here. I'm behind cover, I can scout him, see him without him knowing I'm there. Come out of cover, shoot. There you go. So basically, make sure you use this constantly throughout your game. When you're behind cover, look using binoculars to make sure it's clear before advancing. It's gonna save you a lot of trouble and a lot of suffering, which this game, it does like you to suffer. So make sure binoculars, keybind V for stock, and it will save you so many situations. So yeah, make sure you do that. So the next thing we're going to discuss is, where do I go? So this game is certainly a learning curve, with players with more experience know specific spots and areas to go to ensure that they get a lot of kills, a lot of RP and SL. So it's very advantageous to learn the maps. So each map has its own little areas which will give you an advantage over the enemy team, and it's all about probability. If you can find a good area which is probable an enemy will come past without them seeing you, it's a good spot. The best way to do this is experience in the game. So you learn from your own experiences, you find your spots yourself, or you can watch a lot of YouTubers which have the experience in the game and know where to go. So players like Justin Plays, where it's strictly gameplay and he shows you how he plays, is a very good way of learning. There's lots of other YouTubers out there which will give you this knowledge of these maps. So make sure you try and learn these maps, watch a few YouTubers, find out where they're going, and then it will really help you develop your gaming skill in this game, and develop your tech trees. Get them tech trees, get them RP, SL, whatever you need. Definitely learn these maps. Learn the maps. This next tip is a lineup. What you want to do is make sure whenever you're playing you have a full setup of vehicles for that BR you want to play. This allows you to bring the maximum of that BR, giving yourself an advantage rather than bringing lower tier vehicles. So as you see here, I have a 5.3 lineup apart from the plane, but playing this will give me an advantage over others that are playing with one 5.3 and a few 4.3s or 7s. So make sure you don't get one vehicle that's a lot higher than the rest of your tanks. You want to kind of level them up as you progress. So there's a lot of problems with new players buying a premium, say like the Terms 9.7, but having nothing to play with it apart from 3.0 tanks. There's really not much point. Make sure you have a full lineup of vehicles that you can bring to the match. If you spawn in once and die, you're not going to win the match, and when you win you get a lot of rewards. A lot of percentage rewards you get is from that win. So play the objective, bring the max amount that you can with the maximum BR that you bring in, and it will really help you out in the game. This next tip is going to be very helpful for those playing realistic battles. So as you can see, I'm slightly behind a hill, and there's grass on this hill. When I go into gunner sight, this grass is in my sight. I cannot see the enemy tanks on the hill. In arcade mode you can obviously have the outline of the tank, which will be helpful, but in realistic battles this doesn't happen. So if you go to options and go to ground vehicle battle settings, there's a tab called grass in tank sight. You can turn this off, and when you zoom in, the grass is gone, allowing you to see over hills much better, much clearer. So this is it with the grass in sight. As you can tell, visibility is a lot more reduced, and if you turn this setting off you can see a lot more. Okay, so the last point I want to brush on is repair costs. So here you go, here's Russia. It's pretty low, around 3,000, 4,000 as a base repair for vehicles. Germany is a little higher, around 5k average. So silver lines are very important in the game, and each nation has different repair costs in each vehicle, but Russia definitely on average is much lower than the rest. So you need these silver lines to purchase new vehicles and make sure that your vehicles are always repaired. So I would definitely suggest playing as Russia to start off. It's got very good vehicles, lots of different ways of playing them vehicles, and the repair costs are so low. You can build up a lot of silver lines, so you can buy the new vehicles that you research before you start tech trees such as Britain with a lot more expensive tanks, where you require more kills to repair them vehicles. Thank you for watching, guys. If this did help you, please make sure you subscribe and like the video. As you can see, a large percentage of you are not subscribed, and we really want to get that up. So thank you for watching. Hope this helps, and comment below what vehicles you want me to review or play